Yasemin Bozoğlu Erdinç, and I'm the core coordinator in the diploma program at Chadwick International. I help students in their extended essay journey over 2 years. Extended essay is an academic piece of writing. Students work over 2 years. Students choose a subject they are passionate about. They develop a research question. They collect and analyze data. Eventually, they write an essay, approximately 4,000 words. I'd like to talk a little bit about the process of the extended essay. Students work over 1 year on a subject of their choice. First, in January of the first year of their diploma program, they choose a subject they are passionate about. They develop a research question and start initial investigation process. Later on, as their research develops, they get guidance from their supervisor to narrow it down. They create annotated bibliographies, they start drafting, and by the end of year 1, they write their first draft. Over the summer break, they take some more time to extend their research and writing process. Early in the second year, they write their final draft. We usually expect students to submit their final drafts in early October, and there is a celebration of learning by the end of the process. Over 1 year, students get support from their supervisor teacher, and this is recorded as part of the 3 mandatory reflections. By the end of this process, students develop their self-management, communication, and social skills. Extended essay is externally assessed by the IB. Students get support from their supervisors along the way to produce their best possible work. Their final essay is assessed based on 4 criteria. The 4 criteria are framework for the essay, showing clear research and structure, knowledge and understanding, analysis and line of argument, making an effective argument, and the discussion and evaluation of research and writing. There is one more criterion, which is reflection on the process.
Some of the ideal topics for students to choose for an EE is something that they're truly interested in and something that they feel is a passion. This really helps them to dig deeper, but if they're passionate about something, then they have an intrinsic desire to learn more. They want to ask questions, they want to do the work.
My name is Camden Martin, but most people call me Cami. I'm from the United States of America, and I currently attend Chadwick International. My specific research question is, to what extent does politically biased media affect the role of decision-making in terms of political opinions and voting in adults? I began with a lot of prior research looking at different psychological topics such as anxiety and political and decision-making. And after consulting with my supervisors, I narrowed it down to politically biased media and decision-making.
I decided to narrow down my topic into the Kubitschek government. So it was an oppressive regime in Brazil in the 1900s, and that's also when Augusto Boal was really active. He created a lot of plays in that time period, and I decided to narrow down to that theme, and I think that allowed me to encompass both natures of theater and global politics into one frame. So first of all, the majority of the help comes obviously from my supervisor. So today's meeting was basically an official meeting. It was one of our 3 official meetings, and we've done around 2 unofficial ones before. And today's agenda was to come to a conclusion on my research question and I guess the focus of my research. And other than that, some of the help we get is also from the library. We have plenty of resources. We have books, we have scripts. We also have our librarian helping out every single day. Obviously, from what I said, I love theater. I've done theater. I've been in the US production, upper school production for nearly 3 years. I was casted as a main character 3 times, and I really like the interaction that I make with my fellow actors as well.
The way I chose my topic was that while brainstorming for potential extended essay topics, I was in a cafe drinking coffee, and as students, I noticed that many of us consume a lot of caffeine throughout our high school years, and I wanted to see how that can potentially affect our health.
As a librarian, I work very closely with extended essay coordinators and the supervisors. And my job is to ensure that the students develop strong research skills that will serve them not only in their academic life here at Chadwick, but also later on in their lives.
Students should use a variety of sources and keep good track of what information they need to find and use. I advise students to find primary sources as needed rather than relying on secondary sources. Depending on the subject, primary sources can be anything from academic journals, articles, interviews, scientific data, books, and artifacts. The school subscribes to many academic databases that give students access to high-quality academic papers. EBSCO hosts and JSTOR, for example, are databases that host papers from all areas of academics. These databases are readily available in the student portal. Efficiency is key in research. I help students learn how to find useful information, how to search efficiently, how to find trustworthy sources, and then skim abstracts to evaluate just how relevant the information is. I also help students with their citations. Besides teaching citation rules, I find tools or methods to help students keep track of all their sources, which will later help them in their citations. I personally recommend apps like Zotero to organize their bibliographic information.
In psychology, research is one of the biggest aspects of the essay. It took a lot of time to find studies that fit with my topic and my question, but also finding studies that oppose it. My research process took a lot of transcribing these studies and writing them out in a clear way that I could understand it and everyone else could understand it. It took a lot of editing to also cut down on and fit into the word count and stuff like that. The biggest challenge I faced was making my essay very concise while also going more in depth on the studies, while also fitting into the word count. Because in my first draft, I was almost 1,000 words over the word count, and I really struggled finding ways to cut down, as I saw that most of the information I added was important. But once I submitted my draft and my supervisor and I started having meetings about what I needed to work on, she really helped me find sections of my essay that were unimportant and unnecessary to add. I think this process did help me narrow down my major choice and also institution choice. Although I knew that I wanted to do psychology when I started DP, choosing it as a topic let me further my knowledge on the different aspects and fields of psychology. And I think it's helped me narrow down my choice to choose a more research-based college rather than that focuses on the experimental sides, rather than more theoretical and arts-based psychology.
There are many layers to why an extended essay topic or an extended essay process is very important to a student. First, I'd like to tackle at the personal level when the student engages in this year-long process, they actually get to learn about themselves as a researcher. At an academic level, the extended essay will also push students to develop more knowledge about a specific topic because they really dive into a topic that is of interest to them, and so they are going to gain solid knowledge about that thing, and that is something they can take with them in the future, and they can use it in discussions or in future research even, and so that's more of at an academic level.
Previously, I thought of theater as a mode of, emotion or entertainment, and especially as a student, it's really hard to write political plays or see political plays, and especially because it felt kind of foreign, studying about Auguste Boal and what he did in the 1900s. It's hard to see that in the 21st century these days, in my time, and I think it really helped me realize that it's still ongoing. Political theater is still a thing, but it's just that there's a need for more advocacy. And I think in terms of my future, I think I'd be the one trying to advocate for that, trying to use theater for practical impacts in society, to solve real world problems.
When it comes to the IB, I think the extended essay is important because it's like the final inquiry that they do when it comes to the inquiry cycle, having the inquiry, going to the action, and then going to the reflection. And it is important because it gives us students chance to, explore local and global context, in that their research is not just tied to local and global, just the local context itself. And then they're also exposed to early critical thinking and writing, which prepares them for college, because in college they'll be also looking at a lot of research and everything. So it prepares them for college by doing analytical thinking, critical writing.
One issue I faced was that my data didn't come out as I expected it to. Like, according to the previous preliminary research I did, I was supposed to have this certain correlation between my variables. Then this correlation did not show up for like 5 months, I think. And to, I think, overcome this challenge, I tried a lot of different combinations and trials for my experiments. So I changed the independent variable like 4 times. I also changed the method in which I applied the caffeine, and doing different trials and applying different methods and doing a lot of experimental trials helped me overcome this challenge, because at the end of the process I was able to obtain the results I wanted to. Personally, I plan to enter the field of research in not only in college but like as a future career path. And getting this experience early on, I think, just solidified my passion and like my interest in pursuing this field. In the process of research in colleges, I'm definitely looking for colleges that are more research-oriented, that provide more undergraduate research opportunities and grants.
I think every year, one of the things the students struggle with the most is managing their time. In their courses specifically, they have time in class to work on labs or research projects, lessons, etc. But the EE is a very open process. And so there's a lot of time available to them, in particular outside of the class, to really dig into research and experimentation. But a lot of that rests on their shoulders to try and manage their time and balance their commitments in the class and outside of the classroom. So the extended essay process is incredibly important. First of all, it's a continuation of skills that they've been building throughout their IB journey. So from the PYPX through to the personal project at the end of grade 10, and now the EE process. It's a progression of research skills, of developing your approaches to learning, understanding how to manage yourself as a teenager, but also as a student with commitments. I think it's an invaluable process in learning more about your academic self, but also helping you to better manage your time, your energy, and the resources that you have available. As a student, I didn't go through the IB program, so I didn't experience anything like this until I became a university student. Whereas our students are learning this as an important growth experience now as a high school student. They're going to carry that into their post-secondary careers, they're going to carry that into their professional lives as well, and that's going to make them so much more successful as independent adults out there in the world.